This is Trumpet Jackie Radio.
Hey, you guys! Trumpet Jackie here, and welcome to episode 8. And no, not the episode 8 of The Last Jedi. I can't display that here because of copyright reasons. So sorry to disappoint if you thought episode 8 would be that episode 8, but yeah. So today I want to do something quite different. So today you're going to be hearing our sponsor and a bit of news before we get to today's episode. So, cue the awesome transition music. This episode of Trumpet Jackie Radio is brought to you by the Purcell High School Library, with head librarian Debbie Frankenberg serving this library and its students for over 13 years, the support of our principal, Brett Petty, and the Oklahoma Scholastic Media Initiative for funding the equipment and technology of this studio. This topic will dive into the politics of this situation, and I do know that this is a really touchy subject. That is why I have carefully researched the biggest points of this episode and conducted a script so I'm not free thinking, if you know what I mean, from a couple of episodes ago. All accounts of what I say is me as a concerned student. So the Oklahoma Teacher Walkout started April 2nd of 2018 and ended on April 13th. We had this teacher walkout for nearly 2 weeks. Teachers, students, and parents marched at our Capitol building in Oklahoma City to petition for teacher raises as well as education funding. Oklahoma's teachers have not had a raise since 2008. No yearly cost of living raises either. Why? Why is our state 49th in teacher pay, 50th in education funding, but makes its way into 15th for incarceration? Why is our leaders more focused on putting people behind bars instead of investing money into our education? Why does it take a 2-week walkout for teachers to get a small portion of what they should have received 10 years ago? Has our leadership lost focus on what is really important? I believe so. I have attended Purcell schools for nearly my entire life, ever since kindergarten, and every year I've seen the effects of the lack of the funding. For instance, the fine arts has been cut many times in our school district because of the lack of funding from our government. Nearly 360 teachers of the state of Oklahoma leave a month. That's bad. I mean, the reason I know why majority of them are leaving, because majority of them need better pay raises just to make ends meet. You know, on their house, water bill, gas bill, so forth. I've also seen teachers doing more jobs in their school than they should be, such as there's a coach who is a science teacher and also a math teacher, as well as a bus driver. That's too many positions for one man to do alone. When I think about these things, I have to question, where is the money really going? Do you remember the education lottery? The education website says 45% of the money goes to the lower education. But how is it distributed? Is it being audited to ensure the funding goes to the school districts? How is it decided? How is it distributed? To whom? Would it make sense to budget more for primary education, so in turn we might have lower incarceration rates? People would be educated properly and have a better chance for better pay and education, not having to steal and end up behind bars. A lot of frustrating questions and not enough answers. As of right now, the state of Oklahoma has agreed to do some portion of what we asked for. The teachers have been promised roughly, on average, a $5,000 to $7,000 raise. Education funding, we've been promised $50 million as well as $25 million for support staff. But as I said before, how's it going to be distributed evenly? I'm sorry, but it's not enough for the 520 public school districts of the state of Oklahoma. It all boils down to numbers. How is it going to be distributed evenly? That sort of thing. However, I have some good news though. Citizens of Oklahoma, we have a chance to vote in November for new legislators and representatives. We have an opportunity to really dig into this issue, and I encourage everybody to carefully consider what we want our future to be. Do we really need to fight another fight just to get more education? Or do we need to change our leadership and make education the number one priority for the students and children of this state? The future of students and children all rests on those that vote. Please, we need this desperately. Before the last message of this episode, I want to say some things. I am well aware that there has been many different points of view on this topic. For me personally, I hope I broadened your knowledge and maybe even inspired you to maybe help out. As a graduating senior, I am really concerned on the future of the children's education. For me, I have a little sister who's a freshman, and to be honest, I really don't know what will happen if education funding gets cut completely and there's no one to teach her or the children. I really hope that the education problem is resolved, and hopefully we will have a better future and a chance for a better future in Oklahoma. Thank you. I know this is a sort of short episode, but I'm glad to be back. It's been almost 2 months since I've last posted a video. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. Hopefully, if homework permits me, I will be uploading these as... Oh my gosh.
Can I have tea?
Sorry about that. So, I'm glad to be back. I'm hoping to maybe increase publication of videos, but for the past 2-3 months, my what's it called? Creativity. There it is. Okay, my creativity has gone downhill, but now I've got more topics to be doing. There will be a few more interviews before I sadly graduate and no more Trumpet Jackie Radio. But anyway, if you liked this podcast or episode, please hit that like button and maybe consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification for even more of these episodes. So, see you guys next time on Trumpet Jackie Radio.